one girl riot. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Slipping through the shadows like I'm ultraviolet. Yeah, yeah.
Hey guys.
Hey y'all.
Raven and I are back. But sadly, something else is back. I really don't want it to be back, but it is back. I wish that it would just go away, but it's never going to go away.
It's Descendants!
Yes, thank you. The end of Descendants, the royal wedding, teased that we were going to be getting more Descendancy goodness, and in Wonderland, no less. You would think that the distinct absence of Cameron Boyce, which has been felt by cast members and millions of fans alike, might mean the end of this franchise, but screw artistic integrity and respect for the dead, we gotta bleed this property dry. But how can you do Descendants with only 75% of the principal cast? The answer to that question is very simple.
They're all gone now.
Oh yeah. Rather than try to answer the question of, what are our heroes supposed to do without Carlos, they were just written completely out of the movie. Ben and Mal are out for some more colonizing. Oops, sorry, I mean, engaging in inter-kingdom diplomacy. And Evie and Jay are along for the ride because the writers couldn't think of anything better for them to do. Instead, we're following the story of Red and Chloe, the daughters of the Queen of Hearts. Yes, that Queen of Hearts, who, lest we forget, is just the figment of a little girl's imagination, and Cinderella. And another big draw for this movie is that Cinderella is played by Brandy. And we need to get this out of the way nice and early. Brandy as Cinderella makes no sense. 1. The entire point of this franchise is that it's playing off the iconography of these beloved Disney IPs. The 1997 Rodgers and Hammerstein movie has its fans, but it has nothing to do with the Disney version of Cinderella. 2. What does this mean for the rest of the Disney multiverse? Can any adaptation of any fairy tale be arbitrarily swapped out for something else that has nothing to do with them? Are we going to see Mary Martin's Peter Pan? Sandy Duncan's Pinocchio? Tom Ellis's Robin Hood? What is the continuity here? 3. We've already established the fairy godmother is played by Melanie Paxson. If we got Brandy Cinderella, shouldn't the fairy godmother be played by Whitney Houston? The only original descendant here is Uma, and she's just here to play narrator until the real stars of the movie show up.
This is Auradon, the kingdom where all your favorite fairy tales are true. It was formed 30 years ago when Beast married Belle.
His name isn't Beast! Stop calling him Beast!
Indeed, call him King Beast.
It was formed 30 years ago from when? 2024, when this movie was released? They got married in 1994? I kind of thought that their story was a little older than that. Or was this some alternate reality that just looked like the early 19th century but was in fact 1991? Either way, they got the dates wrong. We're 20 seconds into this piece of crap and I'm already ranting!
Oh, you were ranting when they released the trailer.
That's the power of this kind of stupid!
And how do you think they got all those characters to coexist?
Really, really, really stupid and really, really, really nonsensical contrivances. And characters? You're describing these people as characters? Are you aware of the fact that you're not real?
And how do you think they got all those characters to coexist? Simple. By banishing the villains to the Isle of the Lost.
That doesn't explain how you got all these characters to coexist!
You might know my name, Uma, daughter of the big bad sea witch, Ursula.
Oh, you mean the big bad sea witch who was impaled?
I helped Mal and Ben free the Isle, and now that they're on the throne, things are a lot more fair around here.
Things are a lot more fair now that they're on the toilet?
Oh, pfft.
Blah blah blah, the original characters you theoretically loved are exploring distant lands. By galleons, no less. That'll get you somewhere nice and fast. And apparently Uma's been left in charge while they're gone. Yeah, don't bother putting in charge another king from one of the many different kingdoms that comprise the United States of Auradon. Give that position of authority to your wife's kinda sorta friend whose friendship is shaky at best. Or at least I think that's what's going on. They name Uma the principal of Auradon Prep, and I guess that's the same thing as ruling over the various kingdoms?
I've been to the principal's office before, but never like this.
Implying that even after you turned good mere hours after joining the mainland, you were still causing crap? Fairy Godmother is here just long enough to tell us that she is now the headmistress of Auradon University. Like that'll mean a damn thing in the long run.
My first order of business will be making sure kids from all the kingdoms are welcome to attend AP.
Oh, well, that's already our school policy.
I said all. Even Wonderland.
Wonderland. No.
Indeed, Wonderland, no. Why not? Wonderland isn't real!
The Queen of Hearts refused to join Auradon when we united. She raised an army and we had to wall off the rabbit hole.
Seriously? Wonderland is real? I really shouldn't suggest this since they just ruined that too. But if Wonderland is supposed to be real and not just something that some little girl dreamed up, then why aren't we utilizing Tim Burton's Wonderland? That was real. 2, you had to wall off the rabbit hole? What, is this one rabbit hole the one and only way in and out of Wonderland and no other rabbit holes can be dug? What about mirrors? Are you gonna wall them off too? 3, I totally believe that the Supreme Monarch of Wonderland, if one single Supreme Monarch there be, would be hostile, but why take such drastic measures as walling off the rabbit hole? You leave her alone, she leaves you alone, right? I think even a crazy woman like the Queen of Hearts is smart enough to avoid fighting the combined forces of all these kingdoms of Auradon.
There are no armed forces in Auradon, remember?
Oh yes, pardon me, I forgot. Apparently their entire defensive strategy revolves around Mal and nobody else.
When she and Ben finally opened up the Isle, they gave all villains a second chance. It's time Wonderland got one too. This is for Princess Red.
Are you sure?
It's what Carlos would have wanted. So don't do it for me. Do it in honor of him.
Oh, shut up. Mal, Evie, and Jay, fine. They're allowed to be as sad for the inexplicably deceased Carlos as they want. But you? You have no relationship with this kid. He means nothing to you. Yes, Cameron Boyce was a sweet kid who everybody loved.
But we're not talking about Cameron Boyce, we're talking about Carlos.
And Uma didn't know Carlos.
They were in rival gangs. Why would they have been friends?
In memory of the cause of death still unknown Carlos, Fairy Godmother sends the invitation to Princess Red, and... Wait a minute. The rabbit hole is here in Auradon? All of these other kingdoms are here because they agreed to be part of King Adam's little United States of Auradon for reasons nonsensical, but Wonderland did not agree to be a part of this. The only conclusion we can come to is that Adam built his little club around the rabbit hole in this little piece of English countryside. Why?
Because it's magic.
Very probably, considering that, again, Wonderland isn't supposed to be real! It makes total sense that a rabbit hole would have to be magic if it's a portal to some little girl's mind, but why did Adam have to build Auradon here?
Because it's magic.
Yes, it's magic, which King Adam is very, very against. Why did he have to build here?
Because it's magic.
That doesn't explain anything! Anyway, we go down the rabbit hole where a curfew is in effect, and running around and causing random destruction in defiance is the very cleverly named Princess Red. She's cutting up the Queen's roses, which will no doubt lead to the execution of who knows how many innocents, since she clearly has no intention of owning up to these crimes herself. Why else would she disguise herself like this? I mean, it's hardly a good disguise, since she's covered in red hearts. Who else could she be? The point is, the Queen's not gonna like this, Red's not gonna fess up, and someone else is gonna be killed for her crime. Our heroine, ladies and gentlemen. Also, who is that supposed to be? The Queen of Hearts? Again, I thought the entire point of the stupid franchise is that we're tapping into the Disney canon. It makes sense to cast a singer like Rita Ora in this musical, but the Queen of Hearts, according to Disney, looks more like Nathan Lane in drag. They couldn't put a little effort into making her look like the queen she's supposed to be? You go through the process of making Jamal Sims really look like Dr. Facilier, so why not put that same effort into making her look like the original queen? It isn't long until Red's totally justified random destruction grabs the attention of the guards, who of course spend more time dancing than chasing their quarry.
Soldiers at the ready!
Yes, sir, Lucius Malfoy, sir!
And it's getting loud, yelling red, red, red. I'm breaking in, call the guards. Raise the...
You know what the worst part of this is? I can't even be angry at this dumb teenage girl for thinking that blowing up her mother's stuff is going to prove any kind of point. Of course she's going to think this is going to work. She's from Wonderland. These nut jobs thought it makes perfect sense to toss Alice into a suit of armor. So, yeah. It makes perfect sense in how nonsensical it is.
She's painting our whole world. She's painting our whole world. She's painting our whole world red.
Wasn't their world already red?
Logical logistics aside, the Queen was pretty pissed at the sight of white roses being painted red. Everything is either officially red, or she doesn't want it. Shouldn't Red be painting everything white?
Better yet, instead of using the red explosives that she obviously got from her mother's armory, why doesn't she go steal some white weapons and make it look like the White Queen's responsible?
Yeah, really. She wants to piss off her mom? Start a war. That'd do it. But Red is soon cornered, I think. But she's saved by the Claw? Oh no, are we bringing Toy Story into this?
I have been chosen. Farewell, my friends. I go on to a better place.
Actually, this last-minute rescue was performed by... the Mad Hatter's son.
Maddox Hatter, you know you can't save me.
He just did.
And Maddox Hatter? Lewis Carroll may have been a little bit vague on the subject, but Mad Hatter was not the character's name!
I'm a prisoner of Wonderland. I'm a lost cause.
Like, OMG, I'm totally a prisoner of Wonderland and some junk? Shut up. You're next in line for the throne. You're a few years away from having the entire kingdom in the palm of your hand. Or, hey, here's a thought. You want to be rotten to the core? You want to show us that you're really bad news? Kill your mother and take the throne for yourself.
Nope, can't do that. Too dark.
Too dark? We're talking about the Queen of Hearts here. Her entire legacy is built on decapitation. It's not too dark, it's appropriately dark.
You know what the real problem is? Her mother's still alive.
What do you mean?
Think about it. Snow White, dead mom, and eventually dead father. Cinderella, dead mom, and eventually dead father. Sleeping Beauty, dead parents for all practical purposes since they didn't raise her. Bambi, very detached father and dead mother. Pinocchio, no mother at all, and just living with an old man. The moral is very clear. You can only be a good person if at least one of your parents is dead.
Happy belated Mother's Day, everyone!
I don't want to be queen. I just want to be in charge of my own life.
What?
I just want to be in charge of my own life.
Oh my fucking god. A proper monarch recognizes their responsibility to their people. For example, Mufasa wanted to raise his son to be a good king for when he was gone. Maybe she's feeling afraid of her queenly responsibilities. Heavy as the head that wears the crown, right? But I'm having a really hard time imagining the Queen of Hearts teaching her how to be a proper queen. Like Scar, she thinks that being the supreme executive authority means that she gets to do whatever she wants, and I'm pretty sure that any kid she has would follow in her example. But Red doesn't want to be queen because she wants to be in charge of her own life? Idiot! Being queen in this whacked-out world is the ultimate get-out-of-everything card! You want freedom? This is it! But since Maddox Hatter, seriously, is moved by Red's stupidity, idiocy, plight, he shows her a time machine that he invented. Yep. In between rounds of playing Red's tutor, he just threw together a time machine. Why not?
But I should warn you, when you alter the fabric of time, there can be some unpredictable consequences.
Oh, sure, by all means. So give the time travel device to an angry hormonal teenager with mommy issues. Brilliant!
Everything could change. You could lose your mother entirely.
Has no one heard of the butterfly effect?
You could wipe yourself out too. You ever think of that? I just don't believe it. Even in time travel stories where the entire point is to change something in the past for the sake of changing the future, nobody considers the other changes that might arise. But this guy is very plainly telling her, yeah, you could do this, but who knows what other kinds of damage you might inflict upon the space-time continuum. Could he not be a little bit ignorant of what his invention might have wrought? This is coming from a society that's barely got electricity figured out. We might believe it if he invented a time machine without thinking of the damage that it can do.
Look at that! I'm the first non-Brazilian person to travel backwards through time!
Correction, Homer. You're the second.
That's right, Mr. Peabody!
Quiet, you.
And of all the things he can make into a time machine, why did it need to be a watch? Is he somehow aware of the watch's iconography that's recognized by the audience? The Hatters are all about making hats and throwing killer tea parties. Once upon a time, it would take a lot longer to get water to boil than with the technology we have today. I could very easily imagine this guy inventing a new kind of stove meant to boil water for tea in a much more timely fashion, and inventing this time machine by accident. Or, hell, maybe even the tea itself could be a means of traveling through time. We already introduced truth gummies and all that they imply, so why not do something a little funky with the Hatter's tea that's already been a source of drug-based speculation for years? Sip some of his special tea, and you have an out-of-body experience where you travel backwards in time. That'd work, right? Or if you don't like tea, there are plenty of other things that you could eat or drink that would move you forwards or backwards in time. Or magic mushrooms. Eating from one side takes you to the past, and the other side takes you into the future. Or again, we could be tapping into the Tim Burton Wonderland and simply ask time if he could escort us into the past so we can take care of something really important. There were plenty of other ways to do this! Why did the method of time travel need to be a watch? And finally, why would Maddox even have to invent time travel? King Adam already had it when he was rounding up all these villains from various points in history. If he didn't have time travel, how did he do it?
Magic!
Maddox has to kick her out of his lab before he's caught harboring a fugitive, and he does this by using this giant vacuum tube to suck Red back into her bedroom. Yep, that's not suspicious or anything. And despite his warnings, of course Red had to steal the time machine. Because she's dumb. The next day, we're introduced to Chloe, the daughter of Cinderella. And since Cinderella wore the color blue when she was younger, that means everything in her life has to be blue, even her husband's hair.
Dad. Mom.
So this is love. So this is love.
Wait a minute, what? You go through the trouble of getting Brandy to play Cinderella, but you just have her singing songs from the Disney movie? Wouldn't it be more appropriate to have her sing songs from her Cinderella?
I don't care. She's the only good thing about this movie.
Right, so then why don't they show off what made her good?
You know, this is the first song your mom and I ever danced to back when we were in school.
We fell in love at Castle Cumming.
No, it was the first song you danced to at the ball, and it was the ball where you fell in love. It turns out that Cinder Mama has some last-minute gift for her daughter before she leaves for school. Baby, can I call these things stupid? I really want to call these things stupid.
Go ahead if you want to, but I'd opt for hideous.
Mom, they're just like yours, but even cooler.
No, they're not.
Meanwhile, back in Wonderland...
Her Royal Highness, Princess Red!
Oh, I see you couldn't be bothered to dress for court.
How can you tell? She's wrapped up in the same leather and studs like everyone else. Why is everyone dressed like they're ready to hit a kid-friendly S&M bar?
I find that outfit offensive.
I wish being me didn't offend you.
Aw, you think you're being unique.
That's adorable.
The Queen passes the buck to Red to pass judgment on this guard who failed to curb last night's destruction, and pass judgment she does.
Okay. Well, in that case,
Off with his
hat!
And how does this not result with Maddox gasping in horror?
That'd be a fate worse than death for you.
Would be.
You're such a disappointment.
At least that we can agree on.
I was the same way at your age. Desperately wanting to be a queen that everyone would adore. But if I've learnt anything, it's this. It's better to be feared than loved.
Once again, I'm asking, why isn't this Burton's Alice?
Your white stain. It is far better to be feared than loved.
The Queen then gets Uma's invite, and to Red's surprise, she accepts. They let this go so Red can prepare to leave for Auradon. Then we see Chloe getting ready to leave for herself.
You sure you can't come? I mean, we can visit Chad at college another time.
You want to know what's really funny? They mention Chad in this movie, but we never see him. Probably because they couldn't figure out how Brandy plus Paolo Montalban equals Jedediah Goodacre.
Magic?
Maybe, if magic wasn't outlawed. After this little reminder that Cinderella's family makes no sense, we jump back to the Queen of Hearts driving a car? Never mind that she should have her own chauffeur. I'm just mind-blown at the fact that there are cars in Wonderland.
Really? If it were remote-controlled robots, that would be a different story.
I hate you.
I know.
So how do we get into the rabbit hole?
Why do you need to get into the rabbit hole? Can't you just walk through a mirror? No, they just drive straight through the rabbit hole's barricade, making me think that they're going to end up in Pup Academy.
Oopsie!
No, they actually get to Auradon Prep. They're searched before being let inside, implying some kind of competent security system is being applied. That's cute. And the Queen lays down another anti-music musical number to explain her plans for Red to take over the school. Again, I refer to this as anti-music, because it sounds fine enough on its own merits, but in service to the story, it's nothing but filler. Speaking of anti-music, time for Uma and her crew to introduce themselves to the student body.
This is all hands on deck. Calling out to lost boys and girls. I'm getting tired of the disrespect. We won't stop till we rule the world.
I might be able to get behind the idea of this reformed villain spreading her message to other villains who might benefit from turning their lives around. But she's not going to do that by hanging out with her old pirate crew, and she's certainly not going to do that by singing about taking over the world!
We won't stop till we rule the world. What's my name? What's my name? Say it louder.
And stop trying to make us remember your name.
Girl, it just reeks of desperation.
Principal Uma says that she's going to start a new course for Auradon Prep by including everyone, which means that she's just staying the course that Ben established. Then the Queen of Hearts throws a bunch of her soldiers at the party and starts a coup. Naturally, this former villain doesn't have any kind of plan for anything that might go awry. What's my name? What's my name? I'll tell you what your name is. Moron!
Rippity-boppity!
No.
No. Just no. You might be able to make the argument that Maleficent could out-magic this lady. Maybe someone who has Maleficent's staff could out-magic her if they've just got enough raw, seething anger behind them to back it up. But you're telling me that the fairy godmother is out-magicked by someone without magical powers just throwing a card at her?
But they're magic cards.
She's got the magic wand! It's supposed to trump magic cards, isn't it? I feel it only necessary to refer you to the direct-to-video Cinderella 3, wherein Lady Tremaine steals the magic wand, and with no magical training whatsoever, she reverses the events of the first movie and makes it so her daughter Anastasia is next in line to marry the prince. Without any kind of knowledge about magic or how to use it, this little old lady was able to reverse the flow of time. And now the fairy godmother is outdone by throwing a tiny piece of paperboard at her. You, madam, are f***ing useless! Cinderella tries to apologize, knowing full well that it was some stupid prank that she pulled in her childhood that twisted the queen into what she is today.
It was a stupid prank. Stupid. I could forgive. Humiliating a girl at her first dance. Turning me into a monster in front of everyone. Now that's just cruel. You will all show me the respect I deserve. Get back! Now kneel. I will never kneel to a tyrant.
No, but you might want to kneel to someone whose life you just confessed to ruining and now you're trying to apologize and make up for it.
No, I'm sorry. If my high school bully knelt in front of me and begged for forgiveness, forgiveness would not be what she got.
Red is once again given a little queenly training in dispensing justice.
Treason! She's guilty of treason!
Exactly right, my dear. And that means off with her head!
No. Not off with her head. This woman ruined your life and you want to exact revenge upon her? Not off with her head. No. Off with her feet.
Oh, that's too dark.
Yes. Yes, it is. Red immediately regrets this. The editor very sloppily makes it look like Chloe lunges at Red, but Red starts up the time machine and...
What happened to us, Kodos?
Quiet, you.
Subscribe, like, follow, comment, share, watch more.